Well, happy Monday once again, everyone. Bryan Devore, Devore Realty Group, Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, California Properties. A lot to talk about today in this week's Monday Market Moment. What are we talking about? Why waiting to buy could cost you, plus the changes are here. All the changes that are coming from the National Association of Realtors settlement agreement are happening this week. So we're going to talk about that towards the end. But first, let's talk about the latest stats. Right now, 4,789 homes for sale in San Diego County. It's an increase of 72 from last week, with the median list price of $1 million flat, a little bit lower than last week. Average days on market, 45, no change. Pending sales, 23 from last week, with the median list price, 874, 499, higher than last week. Average days on market, 28. The months of inventory continues to go down. Last couple of weeks, it's gone down a little bit, down to 2.37 months of inventory, still under that 3 months, which is the benchmark for a seller's market. Here's a chart showing total actives and total pendings. Last week's actives dipped a little bit, but it went up a little bit this week. Demand is still kind of hanging out at the same levels. That may change with interest rates going down, which we're going to talk about in just a moment. Since last week, we saw 806 homes come on the market, one more than the week before. So the last 3 weeks, about the same week after week. Median list price, $929.9, lower than the week before. New pendings, $399, 7 fewer than last week. The median list price of the homes that went pending last week, $850,000, lower than the week before. Average days on market, 28, a bit of an increase there of 4 days. New pendings listed within the last week, 26, and new pendings listed within the last 2 weeks, 134. So the number of homes that sold within a week went up a little bit, but the number of homes that sold in 2 weeks or less went down a little bit. So it is taking a little bit longer for a lot of homes to sell right now. Since last week, we saw 352 homes close escrow. It's kind of a big drop of 81 versus last week. Median list price of 876, 944, lower than the week before. Median sales price 870, also lower than the week before. And now we can see that the median sales price was lower than the median list price. Average days on market 22, about the same, one fewer day. Least expensive sale was in Escondido for $170,000. Santa Luz, a community off the 56, most expensive sale, $8.4 million. Here's the chart showing new actives, new pendings, and new closed sales. Very similar to last week, other than the closed sales was kind of a big drop. And pricing was also a big drop. That changes week after week, so I don't expect that to be as low next week. Stephen Thomas came out with his bi-weekly reports on housing for San Diego. This chart shows total active listings year over year, and you can kind of see where we are right now. We have more inventory than we had last year and a couple years ago. Green, the 3-year average. So we're still well below the norm, so to speak. But we still are well above where we were last year, and it's flattening out. So have we peaked? We'll have to wait and see. But this is around the time when we do start peaking. Meanwhile, the demand, number of sales that went pending in the last 30 days, continues to decline, which is the norm other than a couple of years ago when it was going up. But it's typically normal for this to take place. However, interest rates, like I said, have come down quite a bit. The weekly average is down about 1% versus just a few weeks ago, down to around 6.5%. All right, so what does that mean as far as should you buy now or should you buy later? What is the cost of waiting? Well, Stephen provided this graph, which I thought was helpful. If you purchase a home today, say it's $1 million home, your mortgage amount with 20% down is $800,000. The payment at today's rate of 6.5% would be $5,057. Say you wait a year, and the expectation is that homes on average will be about 5% higher in value than they were this year. So prices will go up about 5%. So your purchase price would be $1,050,000. The mortgage amount with the same 20% down is $840,000. So now it's costing you $40,000 more to put down. You need that extra $40,000. Your payment at a 6% rate, which is perhaps what rates might be if rates keep going down the way they're expected to, as the Fed keeps easing interest rates. And today's lower interest rates are a result of the fact that we are expecting the Fed to lower rates. So mortgage rates typically go down before the Fed does their thing. So they kind of, Wall Street is saying, hey, we think the rates are coming down, so mortgage rates come down now. Could keep going down, say 6% next year, you'd be at $5,036. So the difference, the monthly cost of waiting, you do save $21, and your annual cost, you save $252. But it cost you $40,000 more in cash to put down, and you lost out on $50,000 in appreciation, a true cost in waiting. Let's look at it a different way. Purchase a home today and refinance. So say you buy a home now and you refinance later at lower rates. $1 million home, 20% down, $800,000. Your payment after a refinance at 5.5% would be $4,542. Versus if you wait to buy a home, your payment is $4,769. So it's actually going to cost you more to wait to buy versus buying now, get some appreciation, and then refinance at a lower rate a year from now. Makes a lot of sense. Okay, the changes are here. So there are some big changes coming in the industry. Wanted to just touch on them briefly. It's happening this week in San Diego in the multiple listing service that I subscribe to. What is changing? And there are a lot of different changes, but it boils down to the most important things here. Represented buyers, buyer who has an agent, must have a written agreement with their agent, and that would include compensation to their agent. Listing agreements, which is the agreement between home sellers and agents, no longer include offers of compensation to buyers' agents. It used to be that the seller would pay a commission to the listing agent, and part of that would go to the buyer's agent. No longer. Instead, it's just the commission going to the listing agent or the listing broker. Listings in the multiple listing service cannot include offers of compensation to buyer's agents. So now buyer's agents, if they want to know if the seller might consider paying a commission, has to contact the agent. So let's talk about that. What is not changing? Sellers can still compensate buyer's agents, just can't be in the multiple listing service. We can put out there that the seller would be open to negotiation, open to concessions. Can't specifically say the seller is willing to pay X amount of dollars in commission. So it's all negotiable with the offer between the buyer and the seller. And finally, the value of a good real estate agent is not changing. In fact, I think it's going up. With all these changes that are going on right now, I think you'll see the cream rise to the top. There are some agents who I've heard of who don't even know what the changes are or haven't practiced the new forms, aren't prepared for what's coming right now. Versus, I'm very proud to say that our company has done a fantastic job of preparing us for what's coming now. Lots of changes, lots of new forms, lots of new policies and procedures, but I think we are well positioned in our company and certainly my team to help our clients. So I think the value of a good real estate agent is actually going up. That's it for this week's Monday Market Moment. Don't forget to scan the QR code to track your home's value. If you have any questions about waiting to buy or not, the changes coming in the real estate industry this week, feel free to give me a call or send me a message. Happy to help in any way I can. Hope you have a wonderful week, and I look forward to seeing you next week, the next Monday Market Moment.
Thanks for watching Monday Market Moment with Bryan Devore. To request a transcript of this week's report, send an email to brian@devorerealtygroup.com.